Look at somebody and tell them, you are your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy, because if Satan is to win in this fight that you are in, and you've got to know that you have been enlisted in this fight. You cannot choose to ignore. You cannot choose or decide you're not going to fight. You either put up your dukes or get killed. You either get in or get run over, because there is no way you'll be able to avoid or get around this spiritual fight that you find yourself in. So if Satan is to defeat us, he's got to do it in our minds. If Satan is to defeat you, he's got to first do it in your mind. You ask the question, how does this work? Look at somebody and say, how does this work? How does this work? Well, what Satan does, he does things in the body to get to your mind. He'll come up with diseases and sicknesses and cause them to come on your body that he may get to your mind, because that's the destination that Satan is trying to get to. That's the reason he puts these things on you, because he's trying to get to your mind. And then the second thing, he does things outside the body, but it is the same conclusion to get to your mind. He causes your children to act up. He causes your job to do things, your boss, and all these things around you, because boy, he wants to get to your mind. He causes things to happen in the church. He causes all sorts of things to go on, all kinds of confusion. Why? Because he has a desire to get to your mind. And then the third thing, he puts things in your mind in order to get to your mind. He'll come and tell you that everybody's lying on you. He'll come and tell you everybody's talking about you. Everybody's against you. Why? Because he wants to get to your mind. And if he can get to your mind, he can utterly control you. Look at somebody and tell them, don't let the devil have your mind. I'll tell them one more time, don't let the devil have your mind. The fight is between the flesh and the spirit for your mind. The fight is between the flesh and the spirit for control of your mind. The enemy knows that if he can manipulate, if he can get you to get in league against yourself, he knows that he can take control or take charge over you. And if you're going to win, you're going to have to be fit. Look at somebody and tell them, you've got to be fit. If you're going to win against the devil, you've got to be fit. It came with something like this. If the spirit is fit, then it is expressed in the stability of one's mind, which will exemplify stability in bodily expression. If the mind, however, is void of the positive influence of the spirit, then there will be no stability in the mind. If there is no stability in the mind, it is a direct indication of a spiritual problem, which ultimately leads to chaos. The body, if left in this chaotic state, will roam lasciviously like a zombie with no discretion. If your spirit is not intact and your mind is not in gear, your body is just going to roam and do what it wants to do. If you don't put my God in heaven, if you don't put some restraint on your children, they'll roam and do whatever they want to do. If you don't put a restraint on your body, it'll roam and do whatever it wants to do. It'll set up diseases. It'll set up everything. It'll set up desires and have you going in every direction. Look at somebody and tell them, you've got to be fit. Listen at this. It is critical, because the body body is like a remote control car. The mind is the remote control, and the spirit should be the one in control of the remote. Look at somebody and ask them, who's got your remote? Who's controlling you? Is it your, my God, hedonistic desires? Is it your desire to please your flesh? Who's got your remote? I ain't got no help in here, but look at somebody straight in the eye and say, who's got your remote? I feel, oh my God, I feel this. You ask yourself the question, who's got my remote? And if you would do just a little bit of survey, you'll come to the conclusion as to who's holding your remote. Look at somebody and say, spiritually fit. Spiritually fit. Spiritually fit. If you're going to be able to win in this here battle, you've got to be number one, spiritually fit. And to be considered spiritually fit, let me tell you one thing that you cannot live without. You're going to have the Holy Ghost. Look at somebody and tell them you need the Holy Ghost. You need the Holy Ghost because he is a trainer. He is a teacher. He is a guide into all truth. I wish I had somebody here